Today, we actually had another. It should be on. Am I muted? Today, I should be going somewhere and going to eat food and make sure that everything is good and make sure that the sound check is good and make sure that everything else is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're good? Okay.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Can you hear me in the truck? Mic check 1 2 3 4. Are y'all getting audio? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Hang on. Were y'all able to hear that? Yes, I can hear you. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4. I'm talking on mic 1. Mic 1. Yes. Yes. Mic 1. Okay. You want to come up here and take a look? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Okay, give me one 2 3. What about now? I got a headset on right now. Okay. Yes, loud and clear to the speakers. Okay, is it on the tall camera? Okay. Okay. So, do we need to relook at these gain levels then, since you said that gain was pretty high? Okay, because it's a line, like we said? Okay.
I hate them, I tell you. Okay. All right, now talk to it. Let's see what he's got in the trailer.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Am I coming through on the speaker okay? Do I need to turn anything up or? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check. If you get too close, it overmodulates. Mic check 1 2.
If you don't, you can't really hear it through the speaker. Well, mic check 1 2. Mic check.
Just now, I don't know what she's probably talking on the camera mic. Are all of them on? The only thing on right now is the one handheld mic and the camera mic. check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. You don't hear me at all right now? Mic check 1 2. 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2. Yeah, it was on mic level. So on your selector switch, anytime you're coming off the board, it will overmodulate unless the board has a mic output. You always have to ask for check. Well, there's no way you can modulate it correctly.
All right, I'm about to save the battery. I'm going to turn it off.
So you can be a supervisor and roll over the audio.
Okay.
Batteries were fresh yesterday.
Okay.
Random batteries.
Okay, I'm starting to turn them off. Just turn it off. Yeah. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Can you hear me, Des? Yes. Yep. All right, Des, am I good on audio? Okay, I'm about to turn it off.
check, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hello, hello, hello. I think that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mic check. Do it again. Mic check.
Uno, dos, uno, dos.
I don't think mine's
Mic
on.
check, mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Am I just talking? Mic check. Oh, I'm just not talking loud enough. I have to talk louder.
Mic check, mic check. Check the mic, check the mic.
Hello.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
It's on. Mic check. Yeah.
I'm not talking loud enough. I'm
Mic.
at the screen. Mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
All right.
I think I'm good.
I think it's better.
Normally, I think it's on the
I think it's
live stream.
So you get nervous when the cameraman look nervous like they look.
That's cute.
Lord bless my mind. Amen.
Somebody they got airdrop.
Hold on now. Hold on. Let me get myself together. Okay.
Good idea wearing this jacket. That played well on screen.
It did.
You look so good.
I'm allergic.
I need the LeBron chair a little higher.
Hey, look, I'm in the flood.
What happened to them? Well, the high chairs.
I like if somebody unseen.
It would have been. Yep.
Did you take a picture of that? You took a picture of that?
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready.
Hello, everyone. This is session 1. Candid conversation. Achieving self-mastery begins with recognizing and harnessing your strengths. Today, I am Riley McLean. I'm your moderator for the first session, and I am joined with Mr. Larry Green, Rakaya Stevenson, Ariana Mosley, and Amy Moody. How are you guys?
I'm
Doing good. Doing
How
good.
are
Great
you?
to be here.
Good.
Morning.
I'm glad. So let's begin with the first question. How can recognizing your top 5 Clifton strengths contribute to your journey towards self-mastery?
Okay, I guess I will start. Go ahead and get us started here. So understanding your strengths, it helps you understand what drives you and how do you connect with others. So I think the most important thing as you continue to grow and achieve self-mastery is understanding thyself. And so me knowing my top 5 strengths, and of course I will be remiss not to mention them. They are belief, woo, and of course I'll later explain, focus, positivity, and communication. But I think understanding your strengths is the first step toward self-mastery. So knowing thyself. And I'll pass the mic to my friends here.
Well, hello, I'm Rakaya Stevenson, and I would say my top 5 is achiever, relator, learner, competition, and developer. And agreeing with Dr. Larry Green, with what he said, it helps you understand your self-awareness, what you're naturally good at, your natural talents, so you can perform your best. And understanding what energizes you and drives you through everything that you do. Like, you just naturally just are good at it. You don't have to practice it, but you can master what you do naturally when you talk to everybody on a daily basis. The first thought that comes to your mind.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Ariana Mosley. I will also mention my top 5 strengths: competition, achiever, significance, focus, and context. And I think understanding your strengths, like they mentioned, is knowing your natural talents, knowing your growth and personal development, and how you connect with others. I think having this opportunity to, take this assessment and learn who I am and be able to explain my strengths to others and also learn about their strengths truly is a blessing and a great experience. So, yeah.
Hello, good morning. My name is Amy Moody. My top 5 strengths are harmony, positivity, empathy, and belief, and also includer. I know before I took the Clifton Strengths test that I kind of felt like I didn't know my strengths or like my skills, like what I was really good at. So for me to actually like take the test and see that everything that it said that I was lined up, and like it gives you like strategic like definitions of like what each thing means specifically to you. So I think knowing that can make you more confident and like talking to employers and like trying to like promote yourself.
I'm going to go on to make an example. I know we named our strengths, but I'm going to go on to give an example of how it contributes to self-mastery. So me being an achiever, I can recognize my need for productivity and structure my day accordingly. So me already wanting to achieve certain tasks and certain goals during the day helps me move throughout the day, I guess you can say, in a sense, with productivity in mind, like not just moving through the day, not doing anything, actually achieving stuff, getting stuff done during the day and setting goals. And being a learner, I can seek out continuous development. So I'm always wanting to learn a new task and knock things off my bucket list, per se.
Okay. If there is nothing else for this question, I'll move on to the next question. With that said, it is, in what ways can self-mastery enhance your ability to leverage your natural strengths identified by Clifton Strengths? We can start with Mr. Green if you would like.
Okay, it's on me again. And that was a great example, by the way. Thank you for that. So understanding first, once you know thyself, from that point you start to build. You build upon your strengths. Instead of looking at things from a deficit mindset where you're always focusing on the things that you're not good at, your Clifton Strengths allows you to really focus in on what am I good at. And again, I named my top 5 strengths. My number 1 is belief. And just some background on what belief is, it's when you have a strong sense of purpose and you're rely on your core values. So if you're leading a team or if you're building a team and you understand that belief is your number 1 core strength, that is the one that you possibly will lean in the most. Now, my second strength, it's an acronym, is WOO, which stands for, it's woo, but it stands for winning others over. So you know how to connect with people. You bring people into whatever the team project is. So once you understand your strengths, and from that point, it's almost like a skill. I always like to make basketball analogies. If you want to become great at free throws, you have to do more free throw shooting. So if you understand that your strength is belief, it's woo, it's positivity, it's focus, what you do is you start to build on those strengths. How can I leverage that to enhance a project or bring value to an organization or bring value to a team? So once you've identified your strengths, from that point, you seek ways to continue to develop and continue to grow within those strengths.
I'm going to piggyback off of what he said. Like he said, you're going to practice to make your strengths stronger. But also, if you don't do that, you are at risk of misapplying your strengths, because I have competition and I can be competitive, but am I being competitive wanting to battle against others or want to beat my own records? Am I wanting to continue to grow in my own ways, or am I going to be in competition with Dr. Larry Green or my coworkers? And in that sense, it makes it a weakness, because nobody's going to work with me because I'm always wanting to be number one rather than just wanting to be number one within myself. So you have to make sure with your strengths, you're applying them so you get stronger. It's not just a talent. You're strong. You're good at it. And it doesn't become a weakness and a challenge for you.
To piggyback off of what they said, it also takes a lot of focus, being productive in your task and what you're going to do with your strengths. I'm also, competition is my number one, so I know that sometimes I can do a lot as far as wanting to be number one in everything. And I know that, sometimes that comes with practice and making sure, I understand that, yes, I want to be number one, but I know how to also take my losses and learn from what my losses mean as well. So I think, that practice and that working on yourself and knowing when you can and when you can't overdo your strengths is needed to know as well.
I think that when it comes to self-mastery, I think that everyone at first needs to understand that it's a process. Like, understanding yourself, like, especially in college, like, this is the time to do it. So for you to have, like, your Clinton strengths, like, identified, that can assist you in trying to understand who you are as a person and how to, like, include that into, like, your lifestyle and, like, how to, like, just progress within yourself.
Great response, team. I said team. I feel like we're a team now.
Yeah,
we are.
Okay, so we talked about how to identify your Clifton strengths, how to enhance your self-mastery, but now what practical steps can an individual take to align their daily actions with their Clifton strengths to achieve greater self-mastery? We can start with you.
Again?
Sure.
Okay, sorry, I have to write these down because I know I'll go on I'll tell a long story and get lost or something like that. So I wanted to write these practical steps down. So if you're taking notes, here's some ways that you can achieve self-mastery. So first one is reflect daily. Of course, one of my daily practices is journaling. So you can go back and reflect and identify situations where your strengths helped or they hindered you. So sometimes your strengths can help you, and sometimes you can lean into those strengths and they can hinder you. So the first one I would say is reflect daily. The second practical thing you can do is seek feedback. Ask another teammate, ask a friend, ask a colleague, a mentor to just give you feedback on some of the situations they've seen you handle, or you can present a situation and just get their perspective on it. The third thing is set strength-based goals. So again, I always like to talk about my number one strength being belief. So I wrote my personal mission statement based upon my top 5 Clifton strengths. So seek strength-based goals, develop supporting skills to accomplish that. And then last, I would say stay intentional. Again, once you've identified your strengths, do research, ask questions, find out how can I leverage and lean into my top 5 strengths or my strengths in general to achieve more or become a better team member or mate, and then also continue to add value.
Well, that's actually what I said as well, them steps, like self-reflection. Also, we are certified coaches on campus, so if you ever need help coaching somebody to talk to, I wouldn't say therapy, but coaching you through your strengths, so we have a better understanding of how you use your strengths best, because even though Ari has competition, I have competition, and it can show up in different ways. So finding somebody to bounce your ideas off of. Like Dr. Green said, intentional planning. Be intentional with any goal that you set. Don't just say that you're going to do it. Plan how you're going to do it, when you need to get it done by, so you can hold yourself to that. And strengths pairing, that comes with coaching. If you come get Clifton certified coaches to help you, we'll help you understand what strengths you can pair with another strength that may be weak. We don't like to say it's a weakness because it's still a strength. You're just not as strong at it. So I would say come get some coaching and pair your strengths with another one to maximize your strengths, all 30 of them, the best that you can. And yeah, just set goals. Set goals is so important. You having strengths and you having talents and knowing what your talents are, but not being able to articulate that into any way in your life it weakens your strengths. It hinders you. So I would say just come get coaching in the career services office and we'll help you do that.
Great advice. Great advice.
Yes, great advice. Please come see us. One of my strengths is achiever, so I'm always working on practicing my strengths every day. I'm always setting goals, always looking for something new to be good at every day. One thing I'll say is to just stay disciplined and purposeful with your goals. I know there's a lot of bumps and roads on our path of life, so sometimes we can get distracted by, what our path is meant to be. So I would say my advice is to stay disciplined and be purposeful about your goals and what you want to do long term and not just short term.
Okay, so I agree with everyone's answer. I think everyone had a great answer. I would like to add that I think you definitely have to be purposeful, and when it comes to you learning your strengths, you have to also give yourself grace, because
great point.
Yeah, you have to give yourself grace, because I know, I believe that every day, you see a new version of yourself, so you have to be graceful with yourself, because you see a new version of yourself, you've never seen it before, so you have to be gentle, and I just think you need to be very purposeful and goal setting. You have to also be eager to want to get to know yourself better as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, if no one has anything else to add, so Rakaya, I actually heard you mention this, talking about your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to Clifton strengths. So with this, how does understanding your weaknesses in conjunction with your strengths play a role in the process of self-mastery? We could start with you, Rakaya.
Okay, so like she said, self-mastery is not just about your strengths. It's about maintaining your weaknesses also. Of course, with Clifton strengths, like I said, we do not like to call them weaknesses because they are all strengths. You're just not as strong in your other strengths. For instance, an achiever, I struggle with work-life balance. I will work myself every which way, pull myself every which way, because I want to achieve. I want to be there and do what I need to do and not give myself the grace to relax. Like Amy said, you also have to give yourself grace. You have to be able to relax and calm down and be more personal. I lose that also with being an achiever. I'm always making sure everybody else is doing what they need to do, and I lack the focus of asking, wait, are you okay? Are you stressed out? Is it too much? Do you need something else? That's something you have to work on. Also, being strong in harmony or empathy, you can gain perspective on people. Like I said, I'm very high in achiever, but my empathy is lower on my list, so I have to make sure I'm checking in on people. And also just not overworking yourself. All your strengths can become weaknesses if you overuse them. If you overplan, you're too meticulous. It seems bad to say you're too meticulous, you're too organized, but you can become too pinpoint focused on getting stuff done to the T that you're not achieving other stuff. You're too focused on one thing. Yeah.
Whoever wants to go next.
Okay, I'll jump in. Yeah, I'll jump in again. When we started by saying knowing thyself also includes knowing the areas in which we need to grow. So again, I talked about one of my strengths being woo, winning others over. So one of the things that can be a drawback to woo is making sure that you have authentic and deep relationships, because connecting with a lot of people does not mean that that's a meaningful relationship. So having woo as a strength, I have to be aware that, okay, Larry, is this a meaningful relationship? So keeping that in mind, understanding, okay, what are my strengths? what are my areas of opportunities? Because I don't like to use the word weakness too much. It's not a preference, or it's not a preferred action. So I would like to say instead of calling it a weakness, just not something I'm prefer to do. And so understanding that that woo is again a strength, and needs to also be cognizant of the weaknesses along with that. Also, too, being one of my strengths is positivity. Sometimes you can be over optimistic about a situation. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and move on. And having too much optimism in a dead project could actually be a weakness as well. So just understanding what areas you're strong at, and then what areas of opportunities you have, that can give you a holistic approach to knowing thyself. So just a holistic approach, knowing your strengths and your areas of opportunity.
Okay, I add a little to that. I would just kind of say, like, it starts kind of with the practice, because not everyone necessarily can, like, identify their weaknesses, like, right off the bat. Like, I think knowing your strengths can make you identify your weaknesses. So I think they all kind of, like, balance out. So I just really think it's a practice. So once you figure out what your weaknesses are, then you could go further from there. Like, I think your strengths can help you strengthen your weakness.
And I just quickly wanted to add, I think also that having weaknesses and or challenges, those shouldn't derail you from your success. So I think, being able to identify the things that we're not as good as, and knowing, like, how can we grow as an individual using them, and how can we strengthen them with our strengths, and being able to, push through and pursue through our weaknesses is also a thing I wanted to add.
And I'm going to take a chance again to plug in the Clifton Strengths coaching, because I know all of this is, I wouldn't say foreign language, but they have a different definition to words you would think you understand. Like, it's not the by dictionary definition. It's Gallup's certified definition for what your strength is. And when you have weaknesses, we as coaches are meant to come to you. You tell us, we look at your lowest ones and we say, you can actually pair it with one of your higher strengths to help bring that up so it doesn't become a weakness, so it doesn't hinder you. So please use that resource. Come and get coached. We need to practice on our coaching, but it helps us be more articulate in how we speak to you guys, to understand that these aren't just words that you present to somebody. These are who you are, who you show up as at your job.
Would anybody else like to add anything else? Okay, moving right along to the next question. Can you share examples of how self-mastery can lead to improved performance in areas where your Clifton strengths are applied? We can start with, would you like to go first? Ms. Moody?
Let's go.
I would just say, like, I think it would gain your confidence. Like, I know it did for me, like, for knowing my top strengths when I didn't know them. Like, I just think, it boosted my confidence, like, for me to, like, go out there and, like, be courageous and, like, achieve I think it helped me achieve the goals that, like, I wanted to pursue.
I'll say that it made me more driven and more focused as far as, like, what I want to do in my career, and knowing my strengths now that I'm able to talk about myself to others confidently and not, have to worry about someone asking me, oh, like, what can you bring to my job? Or what's the word I'm looking for?
Value. You know what value you add.
Right.
Yeah, you know what value you add from your strength.
And so knowing that now, I'm higher at achieving my goals and, making sure that I'm staying on top of what I need to be doing to make sure I want to get where I want to be in the future.
As I said, one of my top 5s is learner. And as a learner, I'm always looking to learn new things, new hobbies, new tasks, anything. And I've learned to master that by not learning, I guess you can say, just consuming information, just information that's just sitting in my head and taking up brain space, but actually consuming information that'll help me in my future, like focusing my learner on principles of anatomy and psychology, or whatever in my nursing. I am a nursing major, so whatever in my nursing right now, pathophysiology. So focusing my learner instincts and my strength in that on mastering a skill or a topic, rather than just soaking up 30 different topics and having it in my brain just to, here's a fun fact, but actually mastering and speaking on those. And this also just leads to more effective performance. Like, I see myself perform better in certain spaces that I master. particularly in my career services job, focusing more on managing and helping everybody be on time rather than doing every single thing in the office and helping everywhere, focusing on learning one task. That has helped me a lot be more productive during the day.
Yeah, those are all great points. Like, I think the last thing I would say, because it's a common theme, basically it helps you understand and articulate what value you bring to an organization, what value you bring to a team, to a project, and it just, again, just builds your confidence. Because we all know in an interview, the first question 9 times out of 10 is, tell me about yourself. And so now you don't have to have fear about that question because you're able to articulate your superpowers. Like if someone asks me that question, I can start with belief and tell them how I stand on my core values. And then I can go to woo and tell them about it's important to me to include others. And then I go to focus. I'm driven and focused on making sure we can achieve at the highest levels. And then communication, effective communication is important. And then also being optimistic and positive. So if someone asks you that question, which they will start an interview, you have a platform by which you can build upon telling them about yourself. So increases your confidence and helps you to articulate exactly what your value is to an organization, to a project, and to a team.
Okay, so for the last question of session 1, Dr. Green, you actually just touched on this, but how can a focus on self-mastery through Clifton Strengths help individuals navigate challenges and setbacks effectively? So if you want to start.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll start there. Again, it's so critical that you know your superpowers. You understand your values. You understand, okay, any situation, these are the things that I bring to the table. Now, it is a everyday journey. It's a lifetime journey. Of course, we know we are lifetime learners and we're dedicated to lifetime growth. But having the platform and the foundation of those 5 or 32 or 36 Clifton Strengths, you understand exactly what value I bring to the table. How can I apply my superpowers to whatever the challenge may be, to whatever the project is, to whatever the organization. I know what values that I bring to the table. I know how I can add value to this organization, to this project, and that's where I stand on. As they say, stand on business, so to speak. But those are the things that I stand on. That's a platform about which I'm going to continue to bring value to myself, add value to this project, organization, or whatever the situation is.
Well, piggyback off of that, setbacks, we are human, so setbacks occur. Nobody is perfect, and it is okay. But when you achieve self-mastery and you understand your strengths, in a moment of weakness or a setback, that's when you have the chance to lean on your strengths. So if I am feeling overwhelmed or I just have a lot going on, I am a relator, so you can turn to your trusted connections and lean on them for advice or comfort, in a sense, in your setback. And also, if you're in front of an employer and you're like just blanking, like, I don't know what I'm going to tell you about, think about your strengths. Talk about that. Say something. The first thing that comes to your mind when you say what your strength is, you can go into a rampage about how you used your strength in your life. But it's okay to have weaknesses and setbacks. That's why we have strengths, so you can lean on them in times of setbacks and weaknesses. That way you're not stuck in a rut. Like it's okay. It's okay. You're a human. You're human.
I'll just say this. I think Clifton Strengths is, it allows you to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You know what I'm saying? I think that, yes, we're going to have challenges along the way. We're going to have our weaknesses that we're going to have to, analyze, which is context is my 5th one. So, being able to reflect and go back and analyze, my challenges or what I did great during that day, and being able to, have that setback and be okay with the setback and knowing how I'm going to, move forward, going on. I think that Sorry. Setback. You see what I'm saying? All right. Real setback. But yeah, like just staying ready so you don't have to get ready and being okay with, making mistakes and prospering through.
Okay, yeah, I think y'all kind of like got to everything. Like, I agree. I think that your Clifton Strengths like kind of save you, like in a sense. Like, I feel like they're kind of like what you can lean on. Like, if ever there's like any like Yeah, like anything that you feel like negatively on, like you can always lean on your strengths to help you. Like even like during a career fair, like if you feel nervous with talking to people or like letting them like trying to tell about yourself, then you can just lean on those like strengths to like help you navigate throughout the conversations. Because I think once you get started, then ain't no stopping you.
And actually, speaking on knowing your strengths at career fair and talking to employers, there is a lot of employers this day and age who actually understand what Clifton strengths are because they use Clifton strengths at their job. Personally, I have some family members who their own jobs had them take a Clifton strengths certification, well, not certification, but Clifton strengths test when they got hired, so that way the company knows where to put you at. So some companies do understand Clifton strengths talk. If you tell them your top 5, they'll know, okay, I know where I want to put you at. I know where my team is lacking and this is the perfect place for you to be. And if you understand your strengths and you have mastered your strengths, that's going to benefit you even more going into the real world. I think we have I guess we have a one-up on some other HBCUs and other schools by having this available at our school to take, so please use it. Please come into the office, get a code to get your Clifton Strengths top 5 and get coached in it, because this is going to put you ahead of the game when you get into the real world and talking about yourself.
Any additional thoughts or things you want to mention?
You just brought a point resonated with me. Understanding the historic nature of Grambling State University being a part of the first cohort of HBCUs to participate in the Clifton Strengths. So if you have not been to the center to take the test or take the assessment, I strongly encourage you to take the assessment and also take advantage of these certified strengths coaches. You will not regret it. And I guess that's my final point.
Well, this is a great session. This wraps up session 1, a candid conversation. Achieving self-mastery begins with recognizing and harnessing your strengths. Again, I was joined with Dr. Larry Green, Rakaya Stevenson, Ariana Mosley, and Amy Moody. Thank you.
Can y'all hear me? Mic check. Mic check. Oh, mic check. Y'all can hear me?
Okay, period.
Testing, testing,
Oh, it's
testing, testing.
loud.
Should I describe y'all as like recent graduates? Yeah. Okay. Ready? I'm Jay Newton, and this is session 2 of the Candid Conversation with some of our recent graduates. We have Mr. Nicholas Williams and Ms. Madison Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
So this conversation will be about real world and life after college. So I should start with the first question. How did the skills you acquired in college help you transition into your current role? And what advice would you give the students looking to apply to their academic knowledge in practical settings?
For me, it was really the small things that made it easier for me, such as being on time, showing up 15 and 20 minutes earlier than expected, preparation. It shows a lot of character. Pulling up and getting there on time and before everyone, it shows a leader. It shows that someone who want to be there, who want to show up, and actually want to become something within the business. That'd be it. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I took from school is like advocating for yourself. You know, like HBCUs, if you don't go after it, like it's not going to get done. So you definitely have to advocate for yourself, speak up, go after what you want, and I think that'll help you like in life and your career and everything.
I definitely agree. Can y'all share any specific strategies that y'all use to network effectively during your college years, and how did those connections have influenced your career opportunities post-graduation?
I just say, just throw yourself out there. Get out your comfort zone. Get involved with the career services. Get involved with the community. Go to career fairs. Make room for opportunities. Sometimes it's not about what you know, it's about who you know and who knows you. And I just say, just go to places that make you uncomfortable to get you comfortable. That's like stepping stones. You going up a step, there's 1 foot, right foot, 1 foot, right foot to get you to where you want to go in life. If you just straight out, you're going straight, then it's not going to get you as where you want to go. You want to go up. You don't want to be levitated. You don't want to be neutral. You want to go up. So I'll say just you need to be uncomfortable to get comfortable, then get uncomfortable again. That's how you know you're making progress.
I think when I was in school, I made sure I joined a lot of organizations and I made connections with specific people. So for example, I joined Alpha Kappa Alpha. So right after I graduated, I reached out to a Q that actually graduated from Grambling, and he gave me an opportunity to work at one of the radio stations in Dallas. I don't know if you're from Dallas. It's K104, and I worked on the street team, and I worked at the Togetherland Fest, and I got to meet a lot of the celebrities, and it was a really cool opportunity, and I wouldn't have had that if, for one, I didn't go to Grambling to have that Gram Fam connection, but also being Greek and being able to reach out hey, D9 fam, I'm looking for a job, this, and that. They were able to help me. Also, making connections with administration and staff here at Grambling also helped. I was able to moderate the alumni convention for Grambling because Ms. Favors recommended me. So just things like that, making connections and making sure you keep in contact with those people that you make connections with will get you far, because you never know who you're going to need. You're sitting in classes with lawyers, doctors, nurses, all kinds of things. So it's just good to keep that connection and never burn bridges.
So we've talked about connections and just y'all being at Grambling. So in what ways did your college experience prepare you for the challenges of the professional world, and how can students leverage campus resources to enhance their readiness for after college life?
For me, I would say assignment deadlines, being responsible and meeting requirements and completing tasks on time before time. In the professional world, you don't want to be last minute doing something. It shows being organized and it shows laziness. It's better to be on time before time. This shows employer your work ethics. Clear communication with your professors and or classmates when groups assignments are assigned. Knowing and executing exactly what information has been transferred throughout your work keeps agendas aligned. Teamwork makes the dream works. So overall, just knowing what's going on help me help you to get the job done.
I think definitely staying informed is a big thing that I took into my work life. The job that I have now, I work as I work for a nonprofit organization. It's called Education is Freedom, and I work as a higher education advisor with high school seniors, helping them figure out basically their next steps, post-secondary education and things like that. So definitely staying informed, knowing what's going on in the community. Specifically for this job, I have to help these seniors figure out what school they want to go to. So if we're working with minority students, I'm looking at HBCUs, HSIs, Hispanic serving institutions. I'm knowing what school is good for engineering, what school is good for academics, what school is good for education and things like that. So just knowing what's going on in the community, for example, Texas A&M Commerce just renamed in December to East Texas A&M. You have to know these things because when you go into these applications and they're looking for this school, it's not showing up. You have to know kind of what's going on in the community. Oh, they just changed their name. So I think just staying informed, keeping up to date with everything going on, specifically in this era, in this political climate as well. I have a lot of students and families who are undocumented, so they can't complete the FAFSA application. They have to do TASFA, which is Texas State Aid, and Texas will give you money, but you have to know what's going on in this political climate to keep the students safe, to keep the families safe, and just make sure everyone feels like education is an opportunity for them.
Good job.
So I know y'all kind of touched bases on this question earlier, just as far as connections, the opportunities, but what unexpected opportunities did you encounter after graduation, and how can current students remain open and prepared to such possibilities?
By sticking to my 6-month goals, I was able to get promoted to a different branch, placed top 10 in the state of Texas. A couple of employees hold that same title. I was recognized amongst other employees. Honestly, current students, just be a sponge. Soak it all up, get the information, the lessons, the experiences, apply it to areas that they all fit. A good student is always a student.
I definitely say after you graduate, keep your options open, because anything in education, my parents are in education. I was like, no, I don't want to go anything in education at all. But then I thought to myself, I went to an HBCU. I was involved. I served as Miss Grambling State University. I'm able to pour back into these kids and actually help them be successful. So any way that I can help and give back to my community, I want to start there. And I'm like, if God has me in this season right now, it's for a reason. So what am I going to learn right now to take to the next phase of my life?
Okay. So how did you balance in maintaining a personal life with demands of a new career? And what tips can you offer students for achieving a healthy work-life balance as they transition from a college to the workforce?
What I say, time. Everything you put your mind to is possible. Eventually, it play out. Stick to a schedule, stay focused, stay consistent, have discipline. It's just a transition stage of the new life that's in progress. You have to be patient with who you're trying to become.
I'm fortunate that I work, like we're a vendor for high schools, so high schools kind of get out earlier in Texas. They get out at 2:54, and then our supervisor lets us leave at 2:30. So I really have like my whole afternoon free, and I don't get to work until maybe 8:30, sometimes 8:45 if I'm late. But my schedule's pretty much open. I get an hour lunch break. I get every holiday off, every break. Right now I'm on spring break, so we're off this entire week. So I definitely think it's good, like easy to manage my social life. I have a lot of free time after I get off work, but then I also make sure I put in PTO if I don't want to go to work one day, if I need a mental health day and things like that. Just utilizing those tools, communicating with your supervisors and letting them know what you need. Also making sure that you are like staying active, like working out, so you have enough energy, because sometimes after work you want to go home, take a nap, sleep the rest of your day off. But no, you can be productive in so many ways. Like now I'm looking for another part-time job, doing freelance work, still in communications, just maximizing like my profit and my opportunities.
That's good. So what role did continuous learning and self-improvement play in your career development, and how can students cultivate a mindset of lifelong learning to stay adaptable and innovate in their future careers?
This is a major role to me, and it should be for you all as well. Being a human sponge when it comes to knowledge and strategy is a secret. Like, understand and like different strategies. Strategies are implemented for you to take it and put it in systems. There will always be someone who knows something that you don't. Take it all in, the do's and don'ts. So you implement what you need and what you don't need. I would say be kind, generous, and have a good motive in everything you do.
I definitely agree with that as well. Also making sure like you stress the importance of internships. When I was a freshman, no one really talked to me about internships. They were like, oh yeah, you can do that like later on, but I pushed it off until my junior year going into my senior year, and I wish I would have had more opportunities to expand and grow in those ways. Even if the internship is not in your major, I say try it out. Like you never know what you might find within that you'll like. And so I think it's really important to try new things, get those internships, do those jobs in the summer, and just grow as a person.
So with y'all recently graduating, is there any advice that you would just give to any upcoming like seniors that are going to graduate, or just anything y'all want to touch bases on?
Get near to career development. Like get near. Like the reason that I'm here, Ms. Livingston, director of the career services, she reached out to me. I drove 4 hours from Houston, Texas to get here today. So that's definitely influence on my career itself, because it shows my brand, it shows who I am, and so what I stand for. So network, get out there, gather as many resources you can, talk to people, get uncomfortable to get comfortable, to get uncomfortable again, to get comfortable again. Other than that, yeah, you can find your way to the top.
I definitely say start looking for job opportunities now, because once you get into like that workforce climate, looking for a job, it's extremely difficult, especially like if you don't have internships or your resume is not like kind of a lot, it's going to be hard to like find a job immediately after. And for some reason, like even though we're straight out of college, we have a degree, people want you to have like a year or two of experience in whatever field you're trying to go into. So make sure if you're in communications, you have your reels together, you have your resume together. If you are in the medical field, make sure you've done those opportunities at different hospitals and things like that. Just make sure you have all of your things together so you won't have as hard of a time finding a job. And I also like to remember that even after you graduate, you don't have to get a job immediately. You can work an internship as well right after you graduate to gain that experience. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, and I know a lot of people try to move to Dallas and Houston, like bigger cities after they graduate. It's okay to start in a smaller market, build your brand, and then move out. That way you have all of this experience under your belt. It's going to be extremely helpful before you kind of just throw yourself in the water. But yeah.
So,
Great response.
Do you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank you all.
So that will conclude session 2. I'm Jay Newton with my recent graduates, Mr. Nicholas Williams and Ms. Madison Johnson. This was a candid conversation, real world life after college. Thank you.
Thank you.